Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is a requested video. I did a poll a little over a week ago to see what type of videos you guys would like to see on this channel, things that maybe I hadn't done in part of a series in a long time, or a particular thing that you wanted me to revisit, or something brand new. So this is Mixing and Pairing 101, which is something that I did at least 2 years ago, I believe, where I did like to mix or not to mix kind of a video, and you can go back and look that up. I think I did it late spring of maybe 2022, not sure. But this particular video has been requested quite a bit because it is difficult at times to really know what you want to put together and what you might want to avoid putting together when you're talking about taking one cube and putting them in the same warmer. And then we will also talk about my favorite way to mix, which is not to put things directly together in a warmer, but it is to pair them in what we call alternating warmers in sort of Scentsy YouTube lingo, where maybe you'll have one scent in a warmer on this side of the room and then another scent in another warmer on the other side of the room, and they sort of mix in the air, and it's very pleasant and not quite as drastic as direct mixing. But we will start with my favorite mixer scents of all time. I have a list here. I started out with 10, but as I was digging around, it ended up with 11. So these are sort of my gold standards. Some of them are available right now, some of them are not, of if you really want to fix something, throw this in with it and see what happens. So at the very top of the list is going to be vanilla bean buttercream. Then I have sugar cookie, around the campfire, welcome home, give me candy, salted caramel toffee, and I know you see that most of those are bakery, but there's a reason for that. Lemon sorbet, cocoa lime, beach daisy, sugared strawberry, and French lavender. Those are the ones that I think make excellent mixers with pretty much anything out there except maybe fresh, and I do have some considerations for what we would mix fresh to fresh or spice to spice and things like that. But these are the ones that are, I think, nice enough team players with everybody that when you are monkeying around with them, they usually create a successful mix in the end. So let's start out with the queen of mixing, which is vanilla bean buttercream. You can get this in the catalog. I've never seen this retire at any time. And if you are a Scentsy Club member, you can get it in a brick. So this is a rather sad bit of remnants of this brick that I've had for quite a while. And vanilla bean buttercream, the reason that it is the queen of mixers is that it is creamy. It will tone down pretty much anything you're going to mix with it. It has a good vanilla extract quality, sweetness from the sugar cane, and then the richness of the buttercream. So this is one where I have heard so many consultants over the years say, if you don't like something, throw a cube of this in with it and see what happens. Now, personally, I like the next one that was on my list a little better. Sugar cookie isn't quite so heavy or as rich. It's more of a cookie with a nice little layer of vanilla on the top, just a happy, more crisp, not quite so pushy vanilla. But this is more of a spice and bakery mixer, or maybe citrus, rather than all around, because honestly, vanilla bean buttercream can even handle florals, and it's very interesting. So those would be my top two, and sugar cookie is not available in the catalog. You would have to do a Scentsy Club subscription to be able to have that. It's the sort of thing where if you wanted access to the club exclusive bricks, and there's a whole list of those, you could even just do a one-time shipment, and if you didn't want to continue to carry a club, you could cancel it right after you got your shipment, or however you wanted to manage that. But sugar cookie is one that I am so glad we still have, because it is really my favorite versatile bakery mixer of all time. So next would be my favorite very specific mixer, but this bar goes with so many things, and that is around the campfire. I love this. This was available last fall, winter. It is in my quarterly club because I don't know if it'll be back next fall. I sure hope so. If you don't like smoky, I guess this is out, but this bar goes with everything. This goes with sugar, it goes with pink haze, it goes with cinnamon bear, that's my favorite mix. It goes with ice pine, it goes with painted leaves. I mean, you want to make something a little bit different, really change or deepen or balance a scent, add some of this. So this is smoky, and it's got a wood quality, and it's got some embers and some sap. And it just does so many things well when you're talking about other rather aggressive bars or maybe a bar that's too sweet. This just does a great job. And I kind of neglected to tell you what I specifically mix with vanilla bean buttercream or sugar cookie. I'm going to do some of those mixes as we go through all the other things that are on my table here, but my favorites, my very favorite thing to mix with vanilla bean buttercream is actually cedar cider, which is another bar that at the moment is on its off season. I have that safely in my bi-monthly club, but I would assume that will come back next fall. I don't know. But that has cedar and it has apples and spices and vanilla, and somehow vanilla bean buttercream, if you find cedar cider to be a little too funky, just smooths it out and it's so perfect. And then my other favorite thing with sugar cookie is probably lemon drizzle cake, but we will be talking about that as I'm pulling bars on this table. So Around the Campfire has quite a few mixes that I really like. Now, another one where I was thinking, what is the best spice bar for mixing? I think Welcome Home, just because it's already pretty chill, is the best spice bar, because I love clove and cinnamon, I love cinnamon bear, I love all sorts of spice, but for many of the rest of you, you may say, I don't want to mix spice with something else because I already find spice overwhelming. I also considered cinnamon vanilla, but that, because of its split personality, I prefer to alternate warmer mix that rather than direct most of the time. But Welcome Home, this thing to me, it has a beautiful, almost cinnamon sugar quality. It's not in the bakery category, it's in spice, but it's a sweet cinnamon that goes with so many different things. And my favorite thing with this is walnut raisin muffin, which I have here on the table. And this is one of those where you can direct mix it 1 cube to 1 cube like we're talking about right now, or you can alternate warmer mix it. It's just perfect. So the sweet cinnamon sugar, just warmth, I mean, calling it Welcome Home is perfect. It's just one of those gentle, nice hearth and home things. You can get this in a brick and club, and then you pair that with something like walnut raisin muffin, which has some bakery, and it's got that raisin and just sort of dried fruit, not too assertive quality, and it's just the perfect pairing with the Welcome Home. There are a couple of ways to look at direct mixes. Either you're trying to correct something that you do not like, or you're trying to enhance something that you like, but maybe you want to bring it out more. So another thing that I like to use for mixing generally is salted caramel toffee. This was another one that was in our fall winter catalog. I hope that you safeguarded it in your club if you love it. I had several different caramel and toffee scents in my collection, so I did not club this one specifically, but it's the one that we've had the most recently, so it has the best chance of coming back next fall. Now, this is fabulous with coffee. This is fabulous with spice that you find too strong. This is fabulous with other bakery that you just don't like all that much. It's even good with woody things. So it has sweetness and mellowness, and it just tempers other things well. And when it comes to knocking obnoxious bars down a few notches, I think that your bakeries, your vanillas, your somewhat sweet and warmly rounded scents that don't have a super big personality on their own, those are usually the very best for mixing. So that is most of that. I think there's one more that's sort of in the spice bakery category, and that would be Gimme Candy. Now, I am out of Johnny Appleseed. I did pull Apple Press because I think it would do a decent mix. Johnny Appleseed for me is an extremely aggressive apple bar. Now, it's great. We sell a ton of it. You can also get that as a brick and club, so that gives you an idea that it's very popular. But in my home, and I like strong, I typically will have to mix Johnny because he just gets out of hand. It's a very in-your-face Mac apple with a little bit of pear and pear peel undertone. Apple Press is very similar, and Gimme Candy is the most beautiful, creamy, sweet. This is almost more like a butterscotch or caramel, and it's super, super intensely sweet. And so it does a great job of taming fruit, and it does a good job of taming other maybe bakery or even citrus that you think is too sharp. So this is a really, really good one, and my favorite mix is Johnny Appleseed, but since I'm out of it, I'm gonna put Apple Press here to kind of represent. Very nice, and that one's fantastic in like August, September, where you're kind of feeling fall, but you're still kind of feeling summer, so it gives you that bright, sweet, butterscotchy candy scent, and then the apple, that juicy apple that goes with it, and it's just absolutely pitch perfect for that time of the year. So now I do have some floral and some fruity mixers. So my favorite floral mixer has to be French Lavender. This is such a beautiful bar. I will use it on its own because I really like it, but this is good with vanilla. This is good with lemon. This would be good with certain other fresh bars. My favorite thing at the moment would probably be to mix it either with lemon sorbet or simply vanilla, and I have the simply vanilla here. This one, if you wanted to mix it with Squeeze the Day, I would say, and Squeeze the Day is probably our best selling lemon. I did not put this on the table because to me it is very aggressive and pushy and does not make the best mixer. But let's say you did a little sliver of Squeeze the Day and a couple cubes of French lavender, then you'd get a really nice lemon lavender. But we have a better mixing, that's where it is, a better mixing bar here, where this is my favorite lemon mixer, and that would be lemon sorbet, because this is not pushy. This is a little icier. And these two are available right now in our spring summer catalog. Lemon sorbet and the French vanilla. I always say that. The French lavender, I think, are a couple of our best not bakery category mixers of all time, really. So lemon sorbet with that iciness, it's got a little bit of grapefruit underneath, but it's just not as strong or as saturated as your Squeeze the Day, or even coconut lemongrass, which is a scent I love, but I didn't put that on the table either because that just takes over pretty much anything you're gonna mix with it. But these two, they're both great mixers that I would recommend to swap with many things, and they're fantastic together. So then another one that's in the citrus category that's a good mixer with a good number of things is cocoa lime. So this is good with fresh. This is great with other citrus. This is fantastic with rainbow sherbet. And one of the things that you like to do with mixes, as I already mentioned, most of the time people like to knock down an obnoxious bar. So rainbow sherbet's one of the strongest things in our current spring summer catalog. It's fantastic. It's like key limes and really zesty oranges and I think strawberries, and it's like, whoo, there's lots of perfumey fruitiness going on here. But if you wanted to play up the lime and chill this out just a tad, maybe 2 cubes of cocoa lime, which is just a fantastic bar all by itself. It's my favorite spring summer bar pretty much to lift my mood and make me happy. And 1 cube maybe of rainbow sherbet. And then if you don't like that, you can always throw in more rainbow sherbet, but the cocoa lime with, it's just liminess and there's that little creaminess from the coconut. And to me, it's almost got a little bit of like a lemon lime Sprite background. This is just so good with so many things. And that is my favorite one to do with it, but you could do it possibly even with something that was aquatic. I don't know, you can mess around with that and see what you can get out of it. So then another one that might be a little bit more unlikely, but this is my favorite fruit bar to mix with other things, is actually sugared strawberry. And this is a strong scent, I'm not gonna lie. This could probably stand up to Squeeze the Day if you wanted a strawberry and lemon scent. Oh, it's so good. This makes me so happy. But what I love to pair with this is actually bakery. And you can do a lot of different things with it, but my favorite does happen to be a retired bar. And my friend Robin's the one that came up with this direct mix. Graham Cracker Crunch, which is retired, and I doubt that we're gonna see this again until maybe a BBMB or something. That with strawberry, it was sugared strawberry. These two together make you kind of like a peanut butter and jelly confectionery scent. It is so good, you guys. It is one of the best. Oh, it's so nice. But you can do this with Make Me Snickerdoodle. You can do this with Sugar Cookie. You can do this with King Cake. You can do this with Almond Croissant. This bar holds up to just about anything else you're going to throw at it. And it's just a really, really happy thing to mix. And I also love to alternate warmer this. I just did this with Make Me Snickerdoodle and Cherry's Jubilee alternate warmers throughout the house. It was amazing last week. So this is one of my favorite direct mixes of all time, though, when you're talking about something that's very specific, because the Graham Cracker Crunch, when we did offer it, it's got the vanilla, it's got the graham cracker, it's got a little bit of peanut butter. It's amazing. It's such a good mix. So then last but not least, this is a little bit odd, I know, but last year we had a group of spring bricks. And I love Beach Daisy all by itself, but you know what? I found that I love mixing this. I like mixing it with Mad for Melon, which I'm just about out of. I like mixing it with light green floral scents, but the thing that made this a hero for me, and I do have one more bar I don't want to forget that's on the table, that is a mixer bar more than anything else for me. But Beach Daisy is amazing with beach. Both of these were available last year. This was a spring brick and this was BB&B, I'm pretty sure. I have trouble with beach. But as a consultant, when you get your Bring Back My Bar kit, you know you're gonna get one of these. And I'm thinking, what on earth am I going to do with this? Because although I like the scent in the clam, it gets so strong and kind of funky when I put it in the house. What am I gonna do? So I had a whole bunch of Beach Daisy left from my spring brick promotion kit. And I'm thinking, if I put these two together, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is amazing. I mean, there are certain mixes here on this table where I would say, By themselves, they're fine, but you put 2 scents together and it just creates something so much better. And for me, this is one of them. So you put a good chunk of your beach daisy brick and one little cube or even half a cube of beach together, and you get this beautiful late spring, early summer, just glorious, magical thing. So this has papaya and coconut, and like it's good, but it's so strong and it gets funky on me. So that's one of my favorite things. And then there is one that was in, I believe, the woods category last fall, winter, that I have monkeyed around with this bar quite a bit. I don't have it in my club currently. I should have put it in there. I hope it comes back next year, but I have a lot of trouble with Midnight Mahogany on its own. But this bar is one of the most beautiful mixers. It is fantastic with Hemingway. 1 cube to 1 cube in a warmer. If you want one of the most amazing, elegant apple and wood smells that you could ever create, these two are one of my all-time favorites. And this is very good with blackcurrant and plum. This is very good with a lot of things. Direct mixed 1 cube to 1 cube. And it's very subtle. It's got kind of a sweet mahogany, a little teeny bit of cinnamon, and like a plum, but it's very smooth and doesn't throw earth beans by itself for me most of the time until you add something else. And the wood that's in both of these, the Hemingway and the Midnight Mahogany, is so gorgeous. And then it really strengthens the Midnight Mahogany, chills out the Hemingway a little bit, and it's just fantastic. So those are the bars that I would say I would put those in their own bin and label that mixing bars. Now I'm going to go into some of my favorite mixes and pairings, and I'll just try to tell you how I do them. And a lot of times, if I have a bar that is difficult, like Beach, or another one that is way up there for me as difficult as Lemon Drizzle Cake, what I'm trying to do is take out or neutralize something in the bar that I find usually funky or just plain too strong. So with Lemon Drizzle Cake, you know, we've talked about this a bit on the channel this spring. A lot of people like it. What happens to me is it gets a cough syrup note that I do not like. So lemon drizzle cake and sugar cookie is my favorite combination. Actually, I might change out my wax when I'm done with this video and put these two together, because the sugar cookie just chills out that sharpness that to me is almost like a lemon and honey syrup that I don't like. And it gives it the mellowness that I want. And then this goes for like 2 or 3 days. It is a beast of a performer, and it is an excellent, excellent mix. Now, another bar that I have come to love, but it's just still really strong, is Maraschino Sugar Cookie. And this was a brick a couple Christmases ago. I did actually order another one because I came around to it late, but I still prefer to do alternate warmers of Sugar Cookie and Maraschino Sugar Cookie because this gets awfully strong, even though I've come around to liking that saturated maraschino scent. And in this case, it's a pretty obvious either mix or pairing because you've already got Sugar Cookie in with your maraschino cherries, and those go together beautifully. So another thing that I have here that is a very nice direct mix is any of Scentsi's kind of weak and insipid coffee scents. I don't know that the Friends bar would go as well, because to me, the coconut that they have in that just, I can't stand that bar. Like, I can't even find anything to mix with that. I threw mine away. But salted caramel toffee or salted caramel cupcake or toffee butter crunch, this and this together in a warmer, one of my favorite like Saturday lazy morning, just want the house to smell like a coffee shop type mixes. I love that one. Another thing where we would be doing a direct mix, because I'm going to go into alternate pairings after I go through my direct mixes. What else here would be direct mix? I would definitely direct mix around the campfire and painted leaves, like I said earlier. I would definitely, I love this, direct mix around the campfire and cinnamon bear. This makes what I call winter's hearth. It is amazing. My friend Laura from Laura's Aroma Retreat, I believe, this is like something she came up with. It's magical because painted leaves I really like, but it's so stinking strong. And then you add a little bit of around the campfire. This is another one that goes for days, and it just chills it out that little bit that you need, and it is so, so good. So I believe those are all of my direct mixes. Now, if you're going to do something like I talked about earlier, where you're pairing, you're putting two things together in the same room, but you're not mixing the cubes directly, I usually go for things that either will balance each other, or most of the time with my alternate warmer mixes, I'm looking for something where they share a similar note so that they really mix in the air beautifully and they just make something even better than the sum of their individual parts. So one of those, just as an example, would be Red Cedar and Sage, which is a gorgeous bar that we got in Bring Back My Bar in January. This is perfectly fine all by itself. It's cologne, it's got sage, it's got wood, but I haven't done this yet. And this is where I've been doing this for years. So most of the time I'll just sniff the 2 bars cold, and almost always it works out amazingly when you do them in alternate warmers. The white pumpkin and driftwood, that was another thing that was available last fall and you would have had to club it. This is so good. So this has got cardamom, it's got driftwood, it's got depth. Both of these are fall type, almost foresty bars that I know if you put them in alternate warmers, the woody quality that they both had would complement each other, and then the one's a little bit spicy, the one's a little bit more herbal, and it will balance out in the house. It'll be amazing. Another thing that's like that, and again, I haven't tried this, right now, we have one that will be released in May in the Mental Health Awareness Collection. This is called Rosemary and Mint. This is gorgeous. Like, I'm really enjoying these 4 bars in this new collection that'll be coming out. So this is rosemary, eucalyptus, and mint, and it's very herbal. Sometimes in the summer, I will get a crazy craving for something Christmassy. Black forest pine isn't too like Christmas tree. It's more like winter pine and dark forest. And this has a whole lot going on in it, like so many notes I can't even quote them all to you, but it doesn't have rosemary, but it smells almost like it does. So I think these 2, you could probably even direct mix this, but I think these 2 in alternate warmers, if it was like the end of the summer or you were just craving something really woodsy, I think these would be good. And the mint and the rosemary would lighten up all of this pine and make it so that maybe you felt more like you were in the forest up north on vacation rather than trying to put up your Christmas tree. So that's the way I think with that kind of a thing. Then we can go to something that would be more like bakery, and Bonfire Beach is an absolutely amazing bar all by itself. I am not saying that you ever need to mix this, but this bar is incredible in alternate warmers with retired vanilla waves, or you can mix these. And Hannah Blazon, I think, is the first person that I heard talk about these 2. And it changed my opinion of vanilla waves because I had struggled with this. This is one that a friend generously mailed to me. And oh my gosh, the sea salt, caramel, sweetness, and beachiness of vanilla waves is just amazing, and it's super strong. So putting that with Bonfire Beach, which also has the beachiness, it's got the marshmallow, this has the flint, it's got the just beautiful walk by the seaside in the summer. What these share is that sort of marshmallow sweet quality, but then this one is a lot more beachy and this is a lot more confectionery. They are incredible together. So you're pairing similar nuances in this and they just multiply and magnify each other's beauty. It's so, so good. So then another one where I like these in alternate warmers, I probably wouldn't direct mix these, would be Mountain Sunset, which is currently available. This is, again, gorgeous all by itself. Most of the time when I'm doing my pairings, I'm not trying to fix something. I'm more just trying to really enjoy something even more by multiplying the best notes that are in the bar. Mountain Sunset has woods, it's got amber, it's got coconut, it's got bluebell, it's got all sorts of goodies. And then Amazon Rain shares a creamy coconut kind of a scent, but they are quite different, but they're both about the same strength. And here's another thing to consider. Most of the bars that I will pair, I try to make the strength similar, or like a medium and a strong, or a light and a medium. Not like a light and a super strong, because that's not going to work. The one's going to get totally bowled over by the other in the space. But anyway, Amazon Rain is pretty much the same strength. It's that kind of medium light, floaty, gentle, but you can smell it kind of deal. So this one is more tropical. It's got the creamy lushness, and the coconut, though, makes these 2 really, really nice together in the house on a spring day. So then sometimes you just unabashedly want to celebrate a very obnoxious note that's just in your face and you love it. So for me, Lush Gardenia and our new Garden Fresh Gardenia, these 2 in alternate warmers in the house, is Gardenia lovers paradise, you guys. So I hope some of you have this in your club, and it looks like the Garden Fresh Gardenia is sold out. So if you want some, you could go do, like I suggested with Sugar Cookie, a club shipment where you can order like 10 if you wanted of Lush Gardenia, and then you can throw in a Sugar Cookie brick too, and you can get that, and then you can just cancel your club after you get your order. And that way you are guaranteed to not have to fight to remember, I need to go back and check and see if they're going to put on the regular website some of these LTO bars, limited time offers, back in stock. I do that a lot when it comes to things that maybe I was a little too slow in the beginning to try something or to get enough of it, and then it's out of stock. And you can always throw it in your club or start a club to be able to get it. This bar is beautiful, a little bit more greens, lush gardenias, all gardenia all the time. And I will be doing this again multiple times this spring. This is one of my new favorite alternate warmer mixes. Another type of alternate warmer mix that's a little harder to get right is taking a very subtle note that's in one bar that kind of balances another, but they're very different. So Soft Plumeria is another bar I love. And this is medium strong. And this, oh, it's got the plumeria, it's got some apple, and then the description says it has teak. And I was really brave last year because this can get a little heady sometimes. And I paired this, and both of these are like medium strong. I paired this with white amber and teak, which is currently in our catalog. Now this goes in a totally different direction. This is a cologne bar, this is a floral perfume bar. Seems like they would fight each other, but actually the teak that's in here, it balanced all that sweet heady plumeria beautifully. Oh, and it was just so good. I don't know how it works. This is one of the weirder combinations, but these two together are just fantastic. And you could also take this and you can balance that with the rose bar. Now this is a little bit more, maybe this is just Elizabeth and you might not like it, but I just found this to be just as beautiful with the white amber and teak. But a more sensible combination where there's a little bit of greens in Heirloom Rose and there's a lot of greens in Flower Shop. These two alternate warmers make it smell like you're in a 90s florist's cooler with gigantic bunches of English roses and ferns. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. So this is another really good spring pairing. What else do we have here, guys? Okay, here is one of my all-time favorites for fall winter. And if you do not have St. Nickerdoodle, maybe you have apple butter frosting. I know both of those are retired. If you don't have either of those, you could probably use king cake, which just retired, so you'd have more of a chance to have had that in your club. But the apple note's important if you do have an apple bakery bar. I don't know that it would work with Dutch apple bread, but maybe. But St. Nickerdoodle and Dancing Sugar Plums, you guys, these you can either direct mix, you can alternate warmer mix. If you don't have this, you can use apple butter frosting, Dancing Sugar Plums, and you could probably do something similar with king cake and rum pum plum, but it will miss the apple note that these have. These two bars are one of the most company worthy, happy, warm mixes, either direct or alternate, that I've ever come up with. So I keep this one in my bi-monthly club, not because I use it a lot, but because I cannot bear to be without it. Both of these are in my bi-monthly club to do this beautiful simmery, bakery, plum, apple, and just like pastry decadent thing that goes on in your home. This is so good. Probably one of my top 3 or 4 of all the things I'm going to show you here today. And like I said, if you don't have make me Snickerdoodle, no, Saint Nickerdoodle, you could do this with apple butter frosting and it's almost the same kind of an effect. Okay, another thing that is really good, and these are current, this would be a direct mix, and again, haven't done this yet, but I'm sure it will work, or alternate warmer, whipped vanilla lavender, which is similar to French lavender, but this is sweeter. It's got vanilla, coconut, and English lavender, and our gorgeous new Very Vanilla. Now, Very Vanilla and Simply Vanilla and Vanilla Cream. If you have any or all of those available, because you either have some in the club, you've got them in stash, this one's in the catalog right now. These are good mixers, but the reason that I recommended the bakery vanillas is that they are stronger and they don't get pushed around or bullied as much as your plain vanillas. You have to be more careful with your plain floral vanillas with what you mix them with because they will kind of disappear on you sometimes. But something as sweet and gentle as Very Vanilla and as sweet and gentle as Whipped Vanilla Lavender, this is another one where I'm going to try this because I thought of it by making this video. Absolutely love the sweet, gentle quality of both these, and I think that they will be fantastic together either way. Now, a new one that's a little pushier is our new Cake Me to Paradise. This is an amazing bar, and I haven't tried this, so you guys have to do this with me. But there is orange and rum and cake and just beautiful, happy summer punchy goodness in here. It is so good, and I'm thinking the orange in here would be amazing with oodles of orange. I might even direct mix these because they're both crazy strong and super, super happy. So let me know if you can think of something else that you would mix with Cake Me to Paradise, or if you think these would be good or better in alternate warmers. But I'm gonna try this like May or June when I want something super fruity and fun and like tropical and happy. And that is really, really good. Okay, so back to Cocoa Lime. What would I direct mix with Cocoa Lime other than our Rainbow Sherbet? Pina Colada Cha-Cha. I don't remember who came up with this. These two are brilliant together, or you can alternate warmer them. They are so, so good. So this is like, if you need a Cinco de Mayo inspiration, try this. They are so amazing together. And Pina Colada Cha-Cha is creamy and smooth, and I don't tend to mix it with a lot of things because it's just too perfect by itself, but so is Cocoa Lime. So this is one of those where that beautiful coconut and then the citrus and the happy juicy quality, and these are both about medium to medium strong, perfect pairing. So another one that is way more unusual, and you would really have to have these in your club or in a stash. These I would not direct mix, but they're amazing in alternate warmers, is Falling Leaves with the cinnamon and patchouli. Oh, this is so gorgeous. And the cloves that we had in BBMB, and vanilla blackberry, which is kind of a problem child bar for a lot of people. This was incredible late winter. It would be great in the fall, probably not so much spring, summer, because these are both very, very heavy. But vanilla blackberry it's just phenomenal, but it is very unique. Like, you don't need a lot of this bar. It's got cedar, it's got vanilla, it's got blackberries, and it plays beautifully with that heavy kind of early fall thing going on here. So this is like August and September in bars. Fantastic. So, so good alternate warmers together. So I want to kind of wind the video down now, because I think I've given you plenty of suggestions and ideas. I have a bar here I can't stand, and I want to know, what do you all mix with Counting the Stars if you hate it? It's strawberries and leather. And I mean, I could definitely do the obvious and mix this with sugared strawberry, but does anybody have anything else that you think would be good with this? Maybe even like a triple combination? Because sometimes when you get to a point where a bar is just like beyond help for you, you have to add a couple other things to it. So here's my challenge to you. If you don't love Counting the Stars by itself, what do you guys put with this to get through it? Because this was in a collection last fall. Now, the one that I love that's in that collection is Hometown Cowboy. And I did want to put in a good word for, if you love leather and cologne, if you do Hometown Cowboy and White Amber Antique and alternate warmers, you've just like died and gone to heaven. And remember in the 90s, if you were a teen in the 90s and you'd go past some of those sort of like late teen, early 20s, trendy, boutique-y kind of places, this smell would roll out and all you thought of were the handsomest young men at your school, you know, because we were all like that, 18 to 20, right? This is so good. Now I think of my husband, thankfully, because like these are his favorites, but whoops, there it goes. Sometimes you just want to amp up a particular memory factor, and it was, I never shopped there, but it was Abercrombie and Finch. You'd go, Abercrombie and Fitch, you would go by, and that sort of scent would just roll out, and it takes me right back to being a teen. So anyway, where was I going with all this? Counting the Stars does not have that effect. I like Hometown Cowboy. I don't like this one. If that one makes me think of something like pleasant, this makes me think of a very dowdy, old, I don't know, like cowboy that's seen too much of the sun, and he's not had better days. Like, he could have had better days. Anyway, I am totally rambling and wrecking this at the end of the video, but you have associations with things that sometimes you want to fix if you're going to use up a bar, and that was, I think, my best example of that. So tell me how to fix that. Tell me what your favorite mixes and pairings are, and let me know if you guys enjoyed this video and if it was helpful. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.